Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of my survival Minecraft series. So in the last episode we started building this massive garden farm right here. So the garden farm is not here at the moment, but we started training the whole monument and getting rid of the monument and just preparing the area so we can build the farm. And unfortunately we hadn't enough time to build the farm in the last episode, so that's why we're gonna build it in this episode. And I'm looking really forward to this, especially once it's finished, because I could really use some sea lanterns. So for this project I prepared some shulker boxes as always, so especially a lot of white stained glass plus some black concrete powder. And at the end of the last episode I showed you guys how I want the farm to look like in the end. And I went over to a creative copy of this world where I designed the farm. And so now we're just gonna get building. As you can see now, the basic shape of the farm is completed. So the build itself basically is also completed. It's just the roof that is missing right here on these 4 towers and the middle, of course. And the water and all the bubble columns and the water to flush the guardians over into the middle section right here. But I think you can see it pretty well how it will look when it's finished. And just want to show you real quick the progress that I made. So next up I'm gonna, I think, fill this up with water, all those 4 towers, and then get started on the collection system. But I want to put in the bubble columns at the very end of the build, because I don't want to deal with all the guardians falling down this tube right here when I still have to build the collection system for all the drops and also the killing system and everything. So I think that this is gonna be the last thing that I'm gonna do. So next up there's the roof and all of the water streams that push the guardians over, and also the water in the tanks. So now I've done quite a lot of work on this. Don't know if you can even see it on the outside. I think you can see a little bit. So all of the water streams are now in place, the fence gates, as you can see down here. The drop chute for the guardians is also in place. I put down some end rods. And as you can see, there are already some guardians spawning. Now the only thing that is missing up here, or in the top half of the farm, is the soul sand, so that there are bubble columns on every water block in here. And of course I need to put a roof on this farm, because if you have a roof on a guardian farm or over the water where the guardian should spawn, the rates are much higher. I think if there is no roof, around 90% of the spawning attempts fail. So that's that. That's why I want to put a roof on it. So and you can even see a squid in there. Now you can't. There it is. And and I gotta mirror this design over on the other 3 towers. That's just design wise, not for the functionality of the farm. And I've also started or nearly finished the collecting area. So if we jump down here, we can see it's already completely built, more or less. Yeah, I just forgot that I had to record. I was just building, and yeah, I forgot that I need to show you these things. But yeah, this is the room with all the chests. As you can see, there are 2 walls completely filled with chests. So we have 4 times 4 double chests for these things. I think they're called prismarine shorts. We have the same amount for the, I don't have any, prismarine crystals. And then we have an additional 4 chests for raw cod and an additional 4 chests for ink sacs. I think ink sacs is a little bit overpowered, but yeah, it's just there are some ink sacs that will be produced by this farm, and I don't want them to go to loss, because yeah, if I need ink, then I always have to go out hunting squid until I have a squid farm, a proper one. So yeah, I think it might come in handy. And then we have the exact same system mirrored, or not mirrored, but copied on this side. So 4 chests of those, 4 chests of those, or 4 rows, and 1 row fish and 1 row ink sacs. So yeah, and now if we go up here to scaffolding, you can see I've already started a little bit on the collection or the sorting system. So up there, these are the hoppers where the guardians die on top of, and they collect all the drops. And then we have 2 main hopper lines, this one and this one. This one will connect to those chests on this side, and the other one connect to those chests. So yeah, but unfortunately I'm out of hoppers right now. So yeah, I will have to gather up some more wood to craft some more hoppers. And I also need some more cod and some more of the prismarine crystals to make these sorting units basically. But yeah, I think this project is coming along very nicely, and yeah, can't wait till it's finished. So as you can see right here, I've finished this side, crafted some more hoppers, and already start building this side of the item collection system. And yeah, as you can see here, I had to improvise a little bit because these 2 item sorters would have collided with the one that would go here. But yeah, I just took them over a little bit to right here. So now none of them collide with each other and it should all work fine. I even tested this one. This side works and it's ready to be used. And this one also nearly. But I just want to show you how to build those item sorters. So you start with a hopper like this, with no hopper underneath. Place a block behind and a block above. One behind the above one and one down again. And we also need this block right here, so there needs to go a repeater there. We can just place it. So if you don't build this right on the ground, you will have to put a block there as well. Next up, I'm gonna put a redstone torch right there, 2 redstone dust on top of those blocks, and a comparator. Now we're gonna place a hopper against this comparator. This is important that it doesn't go in directly, so I just always face it against the comparator. And yeah, now we can just fill this I always use an item filler or a renamed item for the last 4 slots, and in the front there need to be 18 of the item you want to sort. And if we put 19 in, as you can see, it goes back to 18, and 1 item will always be stuck in here. So now if you put 19 in, it's basically ready to be used. So now if we put 5 more in, you can see they all flow through. We have 18 there, 1 there. And the way that this works is this comparator, and just jump up here, this comparator reads the number of items that is inside of this hopper and outputs a signal strength based on how many items are in there. And with this amount of items, so 22 items, it outputs a signal strength of 1, but with 23 items in there, it outputs a signal strength of 2. So this is just on the edge of these 2 signal strengths. And as soon as there is a signal strength of 2, this redstone dust will be powered, and so will this repeater, and this repeater will turn off this redstone torch, which allows this hopper to take in 1 item and send out 1 item. And yeah, then there are 22 items in there again, and the signal strength goes back to 1. So yeah, and now we just connect it to the hopper line, and we connect this hopper line back here to the main hopper line that is coming from the farm itself. So right now the collection system and the sorting system should be completely built or finished and ready to use, but I think I want to get rid of all the items that overflow basically. So if for some reason, let's say a block or any other item than fish, crystals, shards and ink sacks get into these hopper lines, they will not get in there, they will not get in there, not get in there, and also not get in there. So they will just, like this hopper, this is a really good example. So if I just take, let's say 5 hoppers, put them in there, they should all end up in here, and then this hopper will, over the time will fill up basically. And I don't want that to happen, so that's why I'm gonna install a trash can basically. So every item that is not that does not get filtered after this hopper gets put in a dispenser or dropper, and this just shoots it into lava or a cactus or something. So that's the next step to do. So the things in here just got a little bit more complicated because I decided I want to put in an overflow protection. So basically what I built here is, as soon as this hopper right here is completely filled up, so if all the chests down there and all the hoppers down there up until this hopper are all completely filled up with items, this comparator will give an output and this hopper will get locked so that there are no more items going through this hopper line, and all of the prismarine shards that would go in here will then just follow the hopper line and get destroyed back here in the lava with this dropper. And it's basically a very easy system. I even can compact it a little more right here if we just do this. So yeah, right here it's pretty easy. This one was also pretty easy. This one as well. But here it got tricky when there were two right next to each other, or three right next to each other. And there was this hopper line in the way. So I had to go kind of around like it. And then this these three sorters that are right next to each other, which would be one hopper there, one there, and one over here. So the one over here was no problem, and so was this one. But yeah, the one or these two right here, they were a little bit of a problem. So I just took the output of this one. So there are some additional hoppers here which can get filled up, but that's no problem. So if this hopper right here is completely filled, the sorter will shut down. And if this hopper right here is completely filled, the ink sorter right here will shut down. And as you can hear maybe in the background, there are a lot of guardians dying. And yeah, that is because if we just fly up here real quick. On. The farm is completely finished. As you can see, I've put the roof on all of them. Some end rods scattered around so that there are no mobs that can spawn on these blocks. And yeah, as you can see, there are a lot of guardians spawning here, and right now I'm not even loading all of the spawning spaces. So yeah. But if we now fly up here, this is my AFK spot. Oops, if I can land there. Alright, try it again. Come on, third time's a charm. It's just... okay. I think I can't land there. Now I did it, alright. So this is my AFK spot. Yeah, it's nothing really fancy. Just a little design right here with some end rods so that there are no mobs spawning even if I want to get up here by night. There's never a creeper that would be waiting for me up here. Plus I have blocks above me so I don't have to worry about phantoms. But yeah, if I'm up here, all of the spawning spaces are loaded, and as you can maybe see down there, there are a lot of guardians which go down in this farm. So yeah, I think I'm pretty proud of this design and of this farm. And yeah, I think I'm gonna get the camera count on that I can show you a little bit closer. And after that I'm gonna AFK for one night and see how much stuff we get. So up here I am on the AFK spot. So this is my main account, and I just logged in with my camera account to show you the farm in action. So if we just fly down here, we can see all of the guardians spawning, and there are really a lot of them. And you can also see in the middle. And I will also put two perspectives of the middle tower onto the video, so you can see just how many guardians there really are. But yeah, I think you can get a really good idea of how many this is just from this clip alone. And yeah, I just want to talk about what to do with the outside of this farm. So of course the farm itself is finished. I just need to get rid of the beacon and all of these shulker boxes right here. And yeah, then the farm itself is finished. But I want to design it a little bit, so the outside. So I thought maybe some fisher villages, some small villages over here. Maybe some houses over there, and also there, of course. Maybe these two could get connected, something like that. and just with some little boats all around this, and then maybe make this form look more like a temple or anything. Because right now it looks very modern. But yeah, I could also like build a ring around it. So get rid of those islands and build a ring around it. Put some maybe guard towers on top, like some very modern builds or even futuristic builds. So yeah, I will have to think about this because I'm not gonna build the design in this episode or the outside of this form in this episode. Because yeah, I've run out of time again. So yeah. Thank you very, very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and yeah, until next time, goodbye.